everybody, welcome back to the Indescribable channel. I'm RK, and today we're doing behind the scenes of Five Nights at Freddy's Series Season 2. Today we're going to be doing Season 2, Episode 6, called... What Goes Around? I forgot the name. This is the episode. This is the one that made the channel blow up. This is that video we're talking about. This is the spring lock failure and all that stuff. I don't know why I said this last few times. I'm gonna keep saying it until it's over. I don't have a lot of input to say beforehand of us getting into this, other than thank you guys so much for watching this episode. It was kind of awkward. It was really fun, but realistically, it was a bit awkward seeing everybody get invested in the show halfway, or like on like the last quarter of the entire series, and now it's over. And so that's a bit interesting to see. Obviously it's a spring lock, so everybody is here to watch that, so I won't go too much. And then we will have we'll do questions and stuff like that after the episode, just so, because there's gonna be a lot. I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of questions. I'm recording this ahead of time as usual. But yeah, I'll be answering all those questions at the end of the video instead of like interjecting and going like on a half hour. And we'll still do that, but for like specific questions, because I know everybody's gonna ask about, oh, what was happening? Oh my god, it's a spring bonding suit. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. Content warning. Ow. Oh my god, I forgot. I love that. I love that so much. It's probably some of my favorite bits to do in this whole series has been all of the Charlotte stuff, because it's literally just, hey, Kat, who played Charlotte, just go beat up a bunch of animatronics. And this, I love, I love these segments. We used a laser tag area that was in town, or Ultrazone, I don't know why I'm being ambiguous about it. Ultrazone, we link them. And we just got to use their arena for like 2 or 3 hours, and we did all of the stuff we're about to see with Twisted Freddy and everything. Yeah, I think just the biggest note I always gave Kat during this show is just girl boss, and I think she did it quite well. Oh, also, sorry, with Twisted Freddy, this is going back to Season 1, and just all in general, whenever there's a sound illusion disc involved, you hear that high pitch and stuff like that. I just wanted to make sure that that continuity was apparent, and not just, this audio is horrendous, there's a weird pitch noise. It's supposed to be there. You're supposed to get that obnoxious, like, ringing. Okay.
All right, last one. Hello? I know you're in here. I'm Charlotte. I'm here to put you guys to rest.
in hindsight, I probably would have kept the ringing in just in general, but when Twisted Freddy isn't in shot, I would have like lowered it so it's not just. Oh, I love that. I was really happy with that shot. That looks really good.
Sam? No, I didn't.
Once again, it's another one. This wasn't even we had stuff left out. I just didn't. I could have written more about it. I could have done. I could have excelled. These episodes are like, what, 10 to 15 pages each. So I could have written so much more and really fleshed out the episodes and stuff like that, just to like delve into these characters a bit more. But all in all, it's not about the same thing with Mike and stuff like I've said this about Mike and I said it about Charlotte and the other, and like the security guards and those other characters. Excuse me. These stories aren't about them. This story is about William and Henry and the ripple effects of their actions and stuff like that. So we see Charlotte and Michael Afton and Charlie the puppet and the spirits and Golden Freddy and all that stuff, and that they're all important characters, but it's not the story that we're trying to tell isn't about them. It's about the human aspect and the cause of that with the Henry and William once again, and how we saw season 1 how they more directly clashed against each other one-on-one, and how that would cause all of these haunted animatronics and stuff like that. And then now we're seeing in season 2 how the future generations, how a lot of this stuff is like 2000 onward and stuff like that, how Fazbear has like bled, and how like the blood has like soaked, how it's soaked into all of that and stuff.
So it's on right now. Dormant. Who are you? I am Vada Baba. You are my father, or I do not, whatever, and that suits. Come over here. What we're trying to do, just do creepy stuff. Watch out.
No, I'm doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
Gotta be creepy.
Okay. Oh fuck, that actually scared me. Here. Then I'm gonna follow you down. There's probably gonna be a time where I'm gonna have to cut in front of you.
If you want to go in front of me now, you can.
Like, try to make it look like you're looking around. This is fun, man, honestly.
I thought there was a ledge down there. I was gonna look down, but
Okay.
this way, right?
Yep. Watch out for
I see it.
planks. Don't look in there. I think that's weird.
Damn it. That was a good one too.
Yeah, and then I'm probably gonna hold back there.
Joe through lines as well. Okay. Action!
No. Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Here we have arcade games, a state-of-the-art animatronic band with our resident Freddy Fazbear, and delicious pizza. Stop by today. Stop by today.
Also, I do want to notice how this Spring Bunny costume is obviously not the Springtrap costume. This is the one that we had in season 1. Because I think I've said this, we've had 4 Spring Bunny costumes that we made. There was the very first in the episode, in like the original episode 1. There was that one. Then there is the season 1 version, and then there is the season 2 version, which becomes Springtrap and all that stuff. And then there is what we'll see later on in the show, Scrap Trap, or after that version of them.
How was your last week?
Oh, that's right, I remember now. You must really like Freddy's if you're here again.
Yeah. I don't like the other kids though. They're annoying.
Trust me, I know.
You want a costume?
All right, Chica. Where are your parents?
My dad's a guy.
And your mom?
I don't know.
Oh, I see. I didn't have a mom either. My dad was very, very young. Is your dad mean to you?
Not really. He's nice.
Well, you are one lucky guy. Are my friends Freddy and Foxy treating you well?
Freddy's cool. Foxy's a little scary.
I get that. He scares me and Goldie sometimes too.
Oh,
Yeah. He's big, shiny, cold, and he loves to play dress up. Do you want to meet him?
yeah.
Well, come on then, follow me.
And I want to put this for the record. I did not pull that out of my ass. For the one person on, I think it was on the Discord, that said he just yanked it out of my ass. I did it. That's meant to be the spring lock crank that we see. It's not out of my ass. It's clearly on my side, nestled in the costume, not up my ass. Another thing to mention is that this was done. We did this scene This was originally written for season 1 that we see in episode 3, Nightmares. But we weren't able to we didn't have a Cassidy actor or anything like that. We weren't able to actually shoot it. And so it just became like a little 8-bit segment. Yeah, killed Cassidy. Yeah. Anyway. I love it. I love how it turned out.
Father.
Look! Oh! Ah!
Do you?
Look at them! Ah! I love these guys. These are the fandom animatronics. Oh, there's no way I have the original designs for them that I can get right now, but editor Marley, just pull it up. No, I love them. I just wanted to make. I felt like this. I just wanted to make puppets of these guys, and they are adorable, and I love them. The head, like the body's separated, and the heads are their own thing as well, and stuff like that, and they're just so cute. Ah! I love them.
Of course it's human nature to remember our fondest memories. Prince, how's your eye? I know it was quite poppable when your jaw was torn. Susie, how's Spotty? Must have been quite lonely before the others got there. Gabriel and Jeremy, what a surprise. Your parents actually came looking for you. Although you were a tad limbless at the time.
You don't care. Why should you remember us? You only care about yourself.
If that were the case, I would have destroyed you all by now. You all mattered to me. You gave me a much better purpose. With the stress of Freddy's and Fredbear's and losing my 2 kids and my wife, I needed a release. So I thought. And then I thought, why not squeeze out the stress by squeezing out the life of each and one of you brats? You were all a comfort to me. And even when my world crashed down around me, you were all there. I want to thank you, since you're here. All of your agony and quest for vengeance against me, it just helps me realize I can be with my family again. You did all of this. You made me and gave me salvation.
You won't be able to bring your family back.
Oh yes, I will! This is my magnum opus. I was the one to kill, and I will be the one to live forever with my family. So you all think by killing me, you get your freedom?
Yes. When we kill you, it's over.
You have no physical bodies. You can't hurt me. How about the yellow rabbit? Maybe he can help me out.
I could have sworn. We'll show more behind. We'll show behind the scenes stuff, obviously, right now. Before we get into this, I could. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I had something I was gonna say. This Afton is not the. This is the fan version of Afton, I think. I've said this on other episodes of behind the scenes and stuff like that. How like FNAF the series kind of had the biggest problem where I kept trying to go with what the fan timeline was, because I've said this a billion times. I disagree with a lot of the theories and stuff like that at the time and stuff like that. More and more, I'm being proven right. Editor Marley, show the lineup. Boom, 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 boom. And because of that, but I was like, oh, I was already getting like negative comments on season 1 and stuff like that, and when it came out, and so I just tried to be a bit more fan base accurate and stuff. And so this Afton is not the Afton that you're going to see in any of my future FNAF projects. He is much more. I've said this about, like, we've branched away a lot from the game theory version of it, but I feel like this version is still very family oriented, if that makes sense, which really isn't what me personally, and like my version of Afton, obviously, but like in our time, in the time that I've built it out with as much as canon as I could make it with the little evidence we have and stuff. Like, Afton is, once again, there's no direct motive that we see in the games. In the books, he's jealous of Henry and the success that he has, and so he takes it away by, like, killing and all that stuff. And then in the movie, it's still unclear what his motives are, if there are any. But the games, there's not any definitive motive either, other than, oh, he lost his kids, and so he's trying to bring them back and stuff like that. But once again, that is still not. We don't know. That is the general consensus, which I am not against. But I feel like sometimes villains like Afton are a lot better without a reason, if that makes sense. And I'll explain about that a bit more when we do the whole talk back at the end and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like this Afton is not my Afton. No, but when the perfect Afton for FNAF the series, I feel like, is the best way to say it. Now, are you ready, kids? It's time for the hugest spike in, oh, people skipped to this part of the video in YouTube history. The 70,000 view scene.
Where's your friend? He must have run off. The yellow rabbit would never hurt you. You're still afraid, aren't you? You're still afraid. Can't you see? I'm still alive! So you go ahead and go to those pearly gates and win the league. When they turn you away, I'll be waiting for you.
Afton didn't die that day.
Yeah, no shit. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. That was probably took an hour to shoot the whole thing, and you see that is all fake blood. We had like we had like a container like this big and this wide and stuff like that, like, and we're just drenching every joint with just blood and stuff like that. That's why in this specific scene, the outfit that purple guy is wearing looks weird and different, not from anything we've seen. It's just because that's the costume meant to be covered in, that's the cosplay. Oh, this is gonna be covered in blood and everything like that. I wish I had the foresight to get a duplicate of the costume that I wanted, which would have been the pinstripe yellow and the purple vest that we see him wear in season 1 during the FNAF 2 stuff. But I didn't have the foresight then, and that's fine. It still looks really good. I got food poisoning from this scene. I'm almost certain I got food poisoning. I don't have a direct it's not directly linked, but I am pretty sure I got food poisoning from this because we shot this end of December 2023, and literally New Year's Eve 2023, I was so sick, and it was debilitatingly sick. Like every 5 minutes I would have to run to the bathroom because I thought I was about to vomit, but nothing would come out. And then literally as it's 10, 9, 8, 7, I run to the bathroom and I finally like vomit my soul out. And I'm pretty sure it was that because there's a lot of blood that gets in, that goes everywhere onto it, and so it's gonna get into my mouth at some point, and that's not good. Blood to put in your blood in general is not a good idea to put in your mouth, but there's worse things. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's just you can hear every single time a Springlock jams into his body and stuff like that. And this is as I was editing this. The idea was you hear the same sound effect a few times. Obviously, just because it's hard to find a bunch of sound effects about metal crushing into a skeleton, into a body. But the idea was to have like sometimes a spring lock failure would fail, and so it would go bam, and it would, like there would be resistance like the ribs or something like that, and they don't have to like hack in a few times before it finally snaps into place. Yeah, there's plenty of behind the scenes footage that you're gonna see in a few seconds. But I don't have much to talk about. It's what you see is what we did. There's no camera tricks or anything like that. We just covered me in blood and soaked the costume and stuff like that. Yeah, I think right now, Editor Marley, if you can, we're gonna show them me getting covered in blood and then just seeing the costume turn into Springtrap, because we did all of FNAF, not the security guard part, but we did all the FNAF 3 stuff in one day. And so literally like probably like 10 a.m. we're blocking this whole thing. Noon, I'm in the costume, we're shooting, I'm getting covered in blood and stuff like that. 1:30 we stop shooting. 2 we paint the costume and stuff like that and redo the set. I'm getting my makeup on, and then 2 o'clock, or longer than that for sure, but like we're doing blood, painting the costume, getting the set ready for FNAF 3, getting my makeup on, all the corpse makeup and stuff like that on. And then literally that night, you're gonna see in episode 7, spoiler alert, we set this costume on fire. And so it was probably the best 11-hour shoot of my life, just because it was just bam, 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 bam. It was horrific, but it was fantastic. And this is the stuff that I love doing in filmmaking, and I would 100% do it again. But yeah. I'm like, oh wow.
Behind the scenes stuff that Ryan asked me to record. It wasn't my phone.
Because your guys' phones look great with the effects. Madison, I didn't say. Sorry, you did too early. Sorry. Man, I looked through this footage and I realized I'm an asshole. I'm like, wow, I'm really rude. Let's just cut and redo it. 3. Cut. Do we want to redo it and make sure we get more Chica this time? Right, so Chica, what I want you to do when he's on the camera for you, what I need you to do is, you got something in your eye? Thank you. is when the camera's on you, talking about Susie, be like, oh, my dog. And then look back up and then listen a bit more. Okay, does that make sense? Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. All right, let's make... I really want to get the... Stephen Hawking.
Oh my gosh, guys, William Afton in FNAF is
At 3 a.m.
not clickbait, gone wild, a moment.
You're still afraid!
Cut. Don't move. Chris?
Okay. How should I do this?
Right in between the arm. Right on the shirt. On the other side, though, so it's visible.
Yep.
I think you can brush on the actual suit as well. You can get on the fabric too. It's fine if it drips. It'll look good then if it drips. But just make sure it's very visible on camera. How is it, Ambersley?
It's kind of shadow. Yeah. That's just a little bit of, you know, actually having a light that isn't in the way. The grind never stops. And by grind, I mean blooding someone up because it's...
We're not doing this a second time. In case that crosses anyone's mind. We are not doing this a second time.
Yeah, I know. I can't afford another shirt. Yeah.
Child blood. Heard you got spring locked, bud. That's none of my business. Guys,
I hate it.
whoa, guys, if there's blood on. Is someone hurt?
What?
I
Are
think
you on your
someone's.
period, Ryan?
Shit, that's me. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was just
Fuck.
Dean. Sorry.
Fuck. I'll wash this off.
Alright. Go.
Action.
Hey, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. Yeah.
Afton didn't die that day. He had plenty of tricks to keep himself alive. As for the others, they weren't able to be freed. Too damaged, torn apart, and put in Afton's other creations. Too broken to recognize their killer and creator.
This is my
Afton
favorite
saved
scene.
them, one
Or
soul
one of them.
at a time.
This is all animated by this specifically, but I did all of it. Look at the music, obviously.
I'm sorry about what happened, but it's time to rest.
The party was for me.
I know, and what happened to you was...
You don't know what it was like. Father said that if I brought everyone here, he would put us back together. He promised.
You're right. I don't. But I do know you're hurting everyone.
I'll put you back together.
Father, I'm sorry. It's up to you now to put us back together.
job is done.
What?
Yeah. I love that episode. I love it. I love it for the reason people do, for the other parts instead of the Springlock. Like, the Springlock scene is amazing, and I love all of that. But I feel like the parts that I really thrived in was this scene right here, because this is the part of FNAF that I feel like a lot of us overlook. They're kids. They don't like they're haunted animatronics and all that stuff, and I feel like the FNAF movie the first one did a really great job of establishing this. They're kids. They are not monsters or random characters in a 50-20 screen or anything like that. They are kids that don't even understand the fact that a costume is a thing. That Afton is wearing a costume. All they, like in this version, all they know is that a yellow rabbit leads them, and then a purple figure murders them. And once again, these are kids that most likely don't even have a full grasp of the concept of death and how that works. Let alone having their negative emotions be poured into metal and that becoming their eternal prison, essentially. And like, Charlie, the puppet, who somehow, which even from a lore standpoint, we don't have a full reason to why she's aware of this and why she's able to give gifts, give life, and stuff like that. But, like, she's Henry's kid. And Henry knew that she would do her best to protect people. And in the afterlife, she does. And she does. By doing the Happy Estate. Which we see a little bit, it's not explained perfectly well, in the little 8-bit minigames that we see in the past few episodes. That's kind of the vibe of like, oh, Charlie's getting all of these gifts, like cake and gifts and stuff like that. And then eventually giving them all to the crying child to free him, and in turn free the spirits that he's dragged with him. Because in this version we have, which I still think is a pretty solid theory, of Golden Freddy being possessed by Cassidy and the crying child. I still think it's a pretty solid theory. There's nothing that contradicts that other than the whole, like, is Golden Freddy a separate character than Fredbear? Are they the same character? Which, me personally, once again, that's not a theory that's not an end of the world thing, like, oh, they could be two different characters or they could be the same character and stuff like that. And I think it also answers the FNAF 3 question of which ending is the right ending, the good ending or the bad ending. And this way it can be with the contextualization of Sister Location, or FNAF 3 Sister Location in the Fourth Closet, where you can shred the spirits apart. And so part of them can go into one entity and the other part can go to another. Where we have the animatronics that Afton dismantled, part of those spirits get shredded up and put into the Funtime animatronics and Twisted Freddy and stuff like that. And then the rest are just lying there, and they're the ones that we see, the phantoms that we see attack Afton and get him spring-locked, and then we see that are released with the crying child. Because I've always thought the phantom animatronics are real. They're not hallucination, they're phantoms in FNAF 3. That's how I always interpret it. And they're just like, oh, you might see some things, just use the ventilation. Like, no, you're seeing the spirits. you're seeing the shredded spirits that are haunting Afton to this day that we're supposed to be freeing. That's how I've always perceived it. Obviously, there's like with the whole Mike protagonist theory, that I have. Sorry. Some people have an idea about the Mike protagonist theory, and they have evidence for that and stuff like that. I feel like more and more that's disproved. But a big reason for the phantoms being actual hallucinations is, well, he would have to see them somewhere. And so Mike was actually the guard in all the places where that's where he saw all these different characters and stuff like that. Or they're just spirits that are haunting Afton still. And in turn, the security guard. All in all, it doesn't matter to an extent other than which way you want to benefit your theory and some evidence. But yeah, just seeing this, I just really like this scene. And I feel like it works nicely for our story and the lore that we're trying to build up. I did also want to point out, I perfectly understand I have not mentioned the shadow animatronics at all in season 1 or 2, and here's why. I don't wanna. I don't think there's a need for them because there's no answers to them. They're another one of those characters where it's like, oh, well, you can flip it however you want to benefit a theory, but like all in all, you don't. They're there, and they don't contribute as much as we think they do, other than their little Easter egg. Obviously, I'm perfectly open to more answers and to actual theories about this. But as to contribute to this show that we've made, it doesn't matter. If you really want, I can put the crying child the crying child was the Shadow Freddy that led the animatronics to get butchered by Afton in the FNAF 3 minigames. In this version, not I'm saying that's the canon or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but like that's what we can say for it. Is there anything else? This whole thing to prove like, hey, the other shredded spirits are in the fun times and stuff like that. And then we see Ennard, who is possessing Michael at this point. Any second now. He leaves, and then we see on the other side of the shot, might come in. Yeah, once again, it's one of the, I don't have a lot to say directly. Yeah, comments, questions, put in the comments. We have more Jalore coming up. Once again, I'm RK, and I'll see you guys next week with whatever I have cooking up, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!